Breaking news tonight as Madison police continue to search for a suspect who fatally shot a man in downtown Madison. We'll have a live report near the scene.
Plus, as the gun deer season continues, the DNR is reporting an uptick in hunting-related injuries. We'll take a closer look at the numbers.
And as communities gather for the holiday, health officials are sharing some ways to keep families healthy this season. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. And we are following that breaking news at 5. Police investigating after a man was shot and killed. This happened near downtown Madison.
Officers are still looking for the suspect. Police were called to Lakeside Street off of John Nolan Drive just after 1 this afternoon. Our Tahlil Modine is live at the scene. Tahlil, what can you tell us?
Madison police just cleared this scene about a half-hour ago. They responded after getting several reports from witnesses hearing gunshot. The police chief says officers were on scene within 1 minute of the call. Right now, they don't know how many shots were fired, but they believe the two people fighting knew each other. Police say the incident began with an argument in a car that turned violent when the two got out of the car. Soon after, the suspect pulled out a gun. We don't have a description of the suspect yet, only of the victim. The chief says the man who died was black and in his 30s.
We definitely don't want to resolve conflict with a weapon. And we definitely do not want to resolve conflict with physical violence. And yes, it does hurt me because this is our community and we want better for our community.
Police say they're talking to witnesses in the area to gather any information or surveillance footage. The police chief says they're not yet releasing the description of the car that they believe the suspect fled in, just to make sure that it's the right one. Again, one person is dead and the shooter is still at large, so police are asking anyone with information to come forward. Live in Madison, Tahlil Modine, News 3 Now.
Tahlil, thank you. Also breaking today, new details about a Madison police officer now charged with disorderly conduct.
Now, we reported last week that Officer Keith Brown had been arrested. He's now charged for an alleged physical altercation with a woman. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles has been leading this coverage and joins us with the very latest. Naomi?
We named Keith Brown as an officer last week using public records and sources because the Madison Police Department wouldn't. The charging document filed yesterday in Dane County Court also identifies him as an officer. According to those records, a woman called police saying Brown grabbed her wrist during a fight, then pinned her against a wall in the bar where they were eating. Deputies said she was scared to call police because the suspect was a cop and she had injuries on her hands. She also told police this type of thing has happened before when Brown grabbed her head or neck while drinking. He's charged with disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor. This is the same officer that the DOJ said accidentally fired a gun on State Street last year, hurting another officer. Brown was not charged in that shooting. Brown was one of 3 Madison police officers arrested this month. We previously named Carrie House, who was charged with battery and domestic abuse. Another who we haven't named was arrested for his first OWI violation in Columbia County. More details on all these cases online at channel3000.com.
Naomi, thank you. Let's get a look now at your certified most accurate forecast. Julian Seawright is on the weather patio with the latest. Julian?
Well, things are starting to get chilly as we are rolling into the rest of our evening, but today was another pleasant one for us. As we take a look at the beautiful sunset over Memorial Union as of right now here in Madison, well, things shaped up to be just as nice throughout the course of today. We saw temperatures reach a high of 43 degrees, just a tad above normal around this time of year, though our overnights are still just below normal. We're going to be seeing temperatures slide from 37 degrees currently into the lower 30s by the time we eclipse the midnight hour for us, as we are looking for clear skies heading into tonight. But temperatures right now, 45 still for Janesville and 40 for Platteville. We can see the colder air is definitely coming in from northern areas from Dane County and continuing to push south as we head into the rest of tonight. But we're going to see temperatures drop to around 24 degrees in Madison, around 28 for Platteville and for Janesville and itself. But we are still going to be seeing some pleasant conditions as we are getting closer to Thanksgiving. We'll talk more about this and how you can be impacted with potential showers in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. A 25-year-old utility worker is dead after he was hit by an SUV while working on a Sauk County highway this morning. It happened on Highway 23 in Franklin around 7:45. Investigators say the man was offloading equipment outside of his vehicle when he was hit by a 17-year-old driving an SUV. The teen's vehicle then rolled over before coming to a stop. The man was declared dead at the scene. The teen remained at the scene and is cooperating with investigators. Highway 23 was closed for several hours while crews cleared the scene.
New at 5, Rock County officials say they're seeing a concerning trend, a growing number of overdose deaths. Rock County reported its most drug-related deaths last year, with 1 in 4 involving a mix of fentanyl and cocaine. In the first 5 months of this year, that rate nearly doubled to 48%. Wisconsin health officials found synthetic opioids like fentanyl were linked to 91% of opioid overdose deaths in the state and 73% of all overdose deaths. While officials do not condone drug use, they suggest taking precautions. You can find a link to more resources in our story at channel3000.com.
Each year, the DNR keeps track of hunting injuries across the state. They note each time a hunter is shot.
And in the first weekend of this season, 6 hunters were injured, including 3 teenagers, a significant jump from last year. Our Andrew Banstra dug into those numbers to give us some context here. Andrew, what did you find?
Yeah, Eric, one of those incidents was the death of an 11-year-old boy, the first child killed while hunting in Wisconsin in 5 years. Last year, weekend. This year, 4 hunters under the age of 21 were injured. For gun safety inspectors, or instructors, I should say, like Jeff Weishoff, that number is frustrating. We asked him what he thought the cause may be. He points to changes in Wisconsin's hunting laws and believes 2 years of only virtual gun training during COVID is catching up to us.
They took it online, then, I mean, I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, it's their parents' responsibility or their guardian to make sure they know how to handle a firearm safely. If as instructors, if we can't see them do that, right, and we can't hammer on them over and over and over and over again, keep your finger off the trigger, point the gun in a safe direction, right, unload it safely.
The DNR ended fully virtual gun safety for kids before last year's season. Now they do a full field day for kids with that in-person training at the minimum. But the virtual option is still available for adults. At 6, we'll dive deeper into what the year-over-year data tells us about youth safety in hunting. Eric?
Andrew, thank you. The DNR says Wisconsin hunters registered more than 102,000 deer across the state during the opening weekend. Officials say that number is on par with the usual state average, despite fewer hunters venturing out overall. More than 55,000 were bucks, a 14% increase over last year. While statewide hunting license figures were down overall, some zones saw a significant increase.
We saw a little bit of higher success in the forest zones because more of the hunters were maybe able to position themselves in a way that the wind wasn't so.
Oh, with the exception of possible rain on Thanksgiving Day, the DNR expects great hunting conditions for the rest of the season, especially as temperatures warm up throughout the week. 2 weeks past the November election, and Wisconsin's Republican leaders are looking 2 months ahead now to the start of the next session.
That includes what to do with the state's budget surplus, now larger than was initially predicted. Political reporter Will Keneally tells us what Robin Voss and Devin Lemahue have in mind. Will?
That's right. So a big open question is what to do with the roughly $1.5 billion more dollars that the state is expected to bank by the end of this fiscal year. That's on top of the more than $4 billion that we already knew about. The governor wants to give the money back to municipalities in shared revenue, but Republican leaders are more hesitant to write a blank check.
Revenue without reform isn't going to happen.
Assembly Speaker Robin Voss does not want to give state aid to municipalities blindly, which is why he wants to see them spend what he calls more efficiently.
I am waiting for the reform proposals that get matched with new revenue, but it almost always focuses just give us the revenue and we'll figure that out later as they create goofy positions inside government, as they do all this DEI mumbo jumbo.
This discussion was part of a broader luncheon today with Republican leadership where they outlined some of their priorities for the next legislative session. That includes working with the Evers administration to implement more exceptions to the state's narrowly tailored abortion ban. But they also discussed what happened this past election, where Republicans underperformed.
And this is only anecdotal, but I talked to someone, Ron Johnson, Tony Evers voter, and the only reason why was because Trump endorsed Michaels.
Both said the former president was a drag on the Republican ticket this year.
I mean, that was the only reason why. He's like, she said, I will never vote for someone who goes to Donald Trump and asks for an endorsement. I just won't do it.
And Voss himself was in his own close race against a Trump-endorsed primary opponent who became a write-in candidate.
I was shocked at how many people, after he endorsed my primary opponent, I would knock on doors and they would say, you know, I wasn't going to vote for you, But the fact that you're not with Trump, I'm with you now.
Voss narrowly emerged from the primary, winning by a few hundred votes. He then easily went on to win the general election.
I am convinced that if Donald Trump had not endorsed my primary opponent, I could have lost.
This comes as Wisconsin Republicans are already looking ahead to 2024. Trump is now a declared candidate, but they are questioning how he will continue to shape the party. This is ahead, of course, of Wisconsin hosting the next Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
Will, thank you. New at 5, crews are investigating after a pilot and a meteorologist from one of our CBS affiliates in North Carolina were killed in a helicopter crash. It happened near a highway in Charlotte, North Carolina, just after noon today. Dozens of officers responded to the scene. The men were identified as meteorologist Jason Myers and pilot Chip Teague. Police are calling the pilot's actions heroic after witnesses indicated he made some maneuvers to avoid crash landing on the highway.
From the looks of where the scene was and the crash was, the pilot was successful in not going into the roadway and hitting any vehicles. So that's certainly a heroic act and probably saved some lives.
It's still unclear what caused the crash. Both the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating.
Well, coming up, Julie and C. Wright shares our Thanksgiving forecast.
Plus, health experts share how you can keep your families healthy this holiday season when we come back. And later, a Sun Prairie man receives a life-changing gift for his hard work helping the community. We'll share his story tonight at 6.
And a strong day of gains for the markets. The Dow climbing some 398 points. The Nasdaq up 150. S&P 500 adds almost 54. And we'll be right back.
Black Friday deals all month long during our huge Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible prices, plus get 30% off on top of that store-wide. Come find your new sofa, sectional, or Lazy Boy recliner on sale. And we're still offering no interest for 3 years. 30% off and Black Friday deals all month long? Yes. And don't forget, mattress shopping is easy, fast, and comfortable. Come see our difference and get a great sale on a mattress today at Slumberland Furniture.
It's your last chance to save on big projects. Hurry into Menards for the last 11% off in 2022. Get 11% off easy flooring updates for your home. Find your style and save 11% on Patriot lighting. Transform your home with 11% off new Mastercraft doors. Or go even bigger and get 11% off on a new garage. Don't miss out. There's no limit to what you can save during Menards' last 11% off in 2022.
Save big money at Menards.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $2,500 loyalty cash and unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash.
It's Black Friday now at Grand Appliance. Get half back on select 2022 grills and unbeatable appliance specials like up to $1,000 back and 0% interest for up to 36 months on our most popular brands. These exclusive offers are on top of Black Friday pricing, which is now in effect on all appliances, including this ultra-quiet 3-rack KitchenAid dishwasher for just $749. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom today. Grand Appliance, the appliance expert since 1930.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
Coming up tonight at 6, continuing coverage of the 3 Madison officers who have been arrested. Naomi Coles verifies the details of their cases and brings you the latest in her investigation. That's tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. There are new concerns tonight about a possible rail strike after one of the nation's largest railroad unions rejected a deal that was reached in September. White House officials are calling a shutdown unacceptable and encouraging negotiations to continue as a December 5th deadline looms. The latest offer gives workers a raise, but the amount of sick leave continues to be a major sticking point. If an agreement isn't reached by December 5th, the first of the unions would walk off the job. That could cause significant supply chain issues and delays of food and fuel that could send prices soaring.
With Thanksgiving almost here, federal health officials are ramping up COVID booster efforts to prevent another COVID surge. Skylar Henry has more on today's briefing from the White House COVID-19 response team.
Body of information. Federal health officials announced a 6-week sprint to get as many Americans as possible vaccinated with the updated COVID-19 boosters before the end of the year.
The best way to save lives this holiday season is to ensure that all Americans, particularly seniors, get their updated COVID vaccine and their flu vaccine.
The push comes as the U.S. deals with high levels of influenza, as well as the respiratory illness RSV. The White House says 35 million Americans have received the updated shot so far, including 16 million seniors. The updated boosters contain a component that targets the Omicron BA4 and 5 variants.
If, in fact, you are vaccinated and boosted compared to an unvaccinated person, there's a 14 times lower risk of dying in the most recent BA4-5 era.
Tuesday's briefing marked Dr. Fauci's last time at the White House podium. Next month, he steps down as President Biden's chief medical advisor and the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
Our country is stronger and healthier because of his leadership.
During his long career, the Brooklyn native advised 7 presidents, helping lead the federal response to many public health challenges, including HIV/AIDS.
Every day for all of those years, I've given it everything that I have, and I've never left anything on the field.
But his leadership on COVID led to sharp criticism from many Republicans, and House GOP leaders have promised to investigate. The infectious disease expert says he will absolutely cooperate with congressional hearings, saying he has nothing to hide. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And the White House announced an additional $350 million in funding for community health centers and $125 million for local aging and disability networks to get more high-risk Americans vaccinated. Well, as many of you are preparing to travel, here's your certified most accurate weather with Julian Seawright. Julian?
And the good news is that travel this week will be not seeing or being met with any kind of issues in terms of weather. As we are going to be looking at some smooth sailing for the next couple of days for us, thanks to the stationary frontal boundary, which is really going to keep things rather stable for us as we go in throughout the next couple of days. Pleasant weather is going to be expected, which means temperatures in the 40s throughout our daytime. Overnight, we're still going to be below freezing. Tonight, we're looking at temperatures around 24 degrees for us. It's going to be mostly clear. Not going to see much in terms of cloud cover for tonight. And for the rest of southern Wisconsin, we're all going to be below the freezing points with 27 degrees in Janesville and 28 in Fort Platteville. For tomorrow, however, we are looking at plenty of sunshine. Temperatures will rise once again to a pleasant spot. 46 degrees in Madison with 49 in Janesville, and over towards Platteville, 48 degrees. Many of us will be in the middle to upper 40s once again, and plenty of sunshine is going to stick around for us as we get throughout the rest of our Wednesday. So if you're going to be traveling starting Wednesday at any point in time, whether it's the morning or even at night, we're going to be looking at conditions to really be nice for us throughout the course of the day. So let's go ahead and walk through what we're going to be seeing for us. Wednesday morning, may see some cloud cover, temperatures in the lower 20s, but then as we get into the lunchtime hour, already into the 40s as the cloud cover is going to start to lift shift as we see just a slight shift in our winds coming in from the south, bringing in a little bit more milder temperatures for us. And as we get into around the 3 to 5 o'clock hour, we're still going to hold on to those 40s until we get into the evening hours. Then cloud cover will start to build once again as we transition into Wednesday. And leading into Thursday morning, things are not going to be nearly as chilly as they have been over the last couple of nights, as we are going to be seeing temperatures heading out the door around the mid-30s. Could see some developments of some showers rather early, mainly to the far southwest of Dane County, which would be for the Platteville and even the Mineral Point area. Once we get to the lunchtime hour, could see a couple of showers just outside of Madison. And then for the early afternoon hours and around Thanksgiving dinner, we're going to be seeing pretty clear conditions for us in terms of not going to see any activity, but cloud cover will stick around for us as we head into our Thursday night. Any kind of rain we're going to be seeing will be trace amounts or less than 1/10 of an inch. Not going to be seeing a whole lot from the system that rolls in. And once we get into the rest of the weekend, we're looking for things to stay rather dry. Here's a look at what we're seeing for Thanksgiving in itself. Afternoon showers are going to be the biggest headline for us, but temperatures into the mid-40s are still going to stick around. Now, transitioning into Friday, we're going to see lower 40s, but still plenty of sunshine. And on top of it, it's going to be a nice day for Black Friday shopping. Here's a look at our 3 things we'll need to know. Hasn't changed much over the past day as we're looking at pretty stable conditions and smooth sailing for the next couple of days. Staying on the dry side, also on the cool side as well, as temperatures will be just a tad above seasonable for this time of year, and our best potential to see any kind of rainfall will be on Thursday afternoon. Outside of that, we head into this weekend. Might see a quick little shower going into late Saturday night, but it's mainly going to be when we're all headed to bed. Outside of that, we're looking at 40s to stick around for us. Getting into next week is our best opportunity to see a little bit of snow activity as we get into our Wednesday, guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Just ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday, Dane County Regional Airport is ready to kick off what's anticipated to be a very busy holiday travel season. That's according to County Executive Joe Parisi. He talked about the state of the airport post-pandemic at a morning news conference today, saying that International Lane is now fully opened following an improvement project.
So we're just reminding people that we're here. Things are busy, busier than ever in some instances. And so come on back. It's time to fly local.
Parisi also said there is the return of the usual hourly parking within the parking garage. Still to come tonight at 5, Every Stitch tells the American story, turning quilts into works of art. We'll have that story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. So, this Black Friday, choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, thousands of vehicles are arriving daily, just in time for the holidays. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
It's sauna season at Bachman Pools and Spas.
At Bachman Pools and Spas, we carry the exclusive Finleo sauna in both infrared and traditional styles.
6 saunas on display and dozens ready for delivery.
Saunas are the ideal way to relieve stress, soothe body aches, and feel invigorated.
Black Friday specials at Bachman's going on now.
For a limited time, pay by credit card to take an additional 10% off. Who does that?
Or get 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit.
Relax, it's Bachman's.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet and mobile provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers speeds up to a gig with over 99.9% network reliability. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things. It's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Your business is made from your DNA. Your blood, your sweat, your tears. From a gleam in your eye, you gave it what it needed to grow into the pride and joy it has become. You wouldn't dream of letting anything bad happen to it. So you lavish it with love and wrap it in the cozy warmth of the silver lining. Pamper your business with a policy from West Bend.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, it is the fabric of a nation. We're talking about cool quilts covering the American story.
That's right. They might make you think of a holiday gift or a project at home, but quilts can tell our stories, sometimes surviving for generations. Mike Valerio stitches together the rest of the story.
When you look into these faces, emerging from every stitch, every block, you realize great quilts can also be great art.
Quilts can have so many layers of stories and abilities to connect.
The Fabric of a Nation exhibition, which started at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, now traveling cross-country to the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles, is about reshaping expectations of what quilts can be. Round, revolutionary, but ultimately fabric accessible to us all. Designs often deeply dedicated to memory.
It actually brings up stories that they have forgotten about a quilt they might have made in elementary school. And because I think textiles are something that literally touch us all, people are willing to turn to the person next to them who they might not even know and start sharing those stories.
Curator Jennifer Swope says this is a democratic art form, quilting bees from generations ago demanding the right to vote. A quilt by Harriet Powers, born into slavery in Georgia, depicting biblical stories next to struggles of American life.
Quilts are a soft landing for tough conversations.
What you have in the background is the fabric of my humanity.
Artist Karen Tabbs' more than 12 by 9-foot quilt has more than 1,500 pieces of fabric, all sent to her during the days of the pandemic. Masks, messages, even a sleeve of a wedding dress mailed to Tab, so the people closest to her, isolating, could be stitched together in a quilt of comfort.
In my studio, I was doing the opposite of what was happening on the outside. I was repairing my world.
Do you think, Jen, that people realize that we can look into the depths of America by looking at these quilts?
Maybe people who wouldn't feel quite as welcome in a gallery full of paintings, they're going to feel more welcome in a gallery full of quilts.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
And we're back with a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
Vitense Golfland offers 2 golf and multi-sport simulator suites. Play great golf courses with unmatched viewing clarity. Play different sports such as football and soccer. Have fun with Zombie Ball. Vitense Golfland provides simulator fun for everyone.
DePaco Credit Union members are better together because together members share thank yous, a DePaco-only perk that thanks members in cash. And because you're not just a member, you're also an owner, everyone benefits. How will this year's nearly $3.7 million in thank yous benefit you and your community? Since 2016, DePaco members have shared nearly $24.4 million. We truly are better together. Join the movement where your member ownership pays. Visit your nearest Dupaco branch or join online at dupaco.com.
Right now, score the lowest prices of the year at Brothers Maine. You won't find lower prices anywhere. And enjoy our free delivery. Shop family-owned Brothers Maine's low price guarantee on brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Whether you're looking for all the advanced features or something with a lower upfront cost, with Rheem heating equipment, you can stay comfortable even in the most uncomfortable situations.
Oh, come on. Yes, let's go.
Feel the Wohlers difference. Call Wohlers Heating and Air Conditioning today, serving Dane County for over 45 years.
National call centers, they're just not the way to go when you can meet with a trusted and knowledgeable Medicare insurance agent from Informed Choice Insurance Agency. Because nobody knows your local hospitals, doctors, and pharmacies like your local Informed Choice Insurance agent.
Vitense Golfland offers a free Top Tracer golf range experience. Obtain valuable shot information with warm-up, track your shot history with My Practice, play virtual golf, long drive, points game, go fish. Only at Vitense Golfland.
Julian's back. A final check of the forecast.
And the next few days are going to be very pleasant and smooth sailing for those who have to go somewhere else for the holiday. We're going to be looking at a chance of seeing some showers, mainly Thursday afternoon, and then another opportunity for some activity will come for our Saturday nights. But outside of that, lots of smooth sailing and temperatures in the 40s. You can't really beat that for this time of year. And then we're going to see more activity potentials getting into next week around Wednesday before we start off December into the 30s.
All right, Julian. CBS Evening News coming your way next. And, of course, we'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned.